Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As actually by the title of today's video, here to showcase to you how to perfect your bump steals in NBA 2K23. In my opinion, one of the most important things you can know as a lockdown and just in general, a player trying to play good defense in 2K23. So, as you can see by the intro, not the most competitive team. I want to be very transparent about stuff like that in any video that I'm going to showcase to you guys. And nonetheless, I'm just here to showcase mechanics. I'm here to showcase when and why and how to go for bump steals in 2K23. So, hope y'all enjoy. If you do, feel to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff. And like always, try to 2,000 likes. Now, as you can see, he's actually a pretty decent dribbler. Nothing super insane crazy, but still, anybody who knows how to do the basic one spin back is definitely a decent player on the game, at the very least. But anyway, to break down this bump steal right here, as you can see, again, very glitchy dribbling, and that's very hard to set up for bump steals on, because obviously it's very unpredictable as far as where they're going to go and how to do it. Now, as you can see, nice little standing crossover right there from him, but when you see that move, boom, I'm on his left, going for that bump steal. Now, we'll have better explanations and better examples as far as when to actually go for them. This one was a little bit by surprise, but as you can see, I am on the left of him. We're kind of already there. I was planning to play to his left, and if he did any move moving to his left, was planning to get ready for that bump steal. You can see kind of in this frame right here, I'm getting ready to move to his left just in case he does any move. Felt like just pretty much based off of anything that he was doing already right here, you can tell that he kind of wants to go left. He's not going to just do a little stop and go right here, unless he does, then in which case you have to definitely get back and protect the rim run, because that little stop and go right here can definitely kill. But when you're playing for the bump steals, you're getting a little bit more risky, you're getting a little bit more blitz heavy, and that's what this is at the end of the day. You're blitzing one side of them and predicting, so to say. But predicting only goes so far if you're not in position to get the bump steals. You have to put your body in a position to get the body bump. It's really something that you have to perfect. It's something that I will definitely try and give you guys as far as a guide throughout the course of this video though, but this isn't the best example of it. You can see though, my body does collide with him. You have to be tapping your X or square button in that exact frame right there, and you'll probably be able to get this about, I would say, 70% of the time that you go for it in that situation, maybe even 80. Your steal rating also doesn't really matter, very important in that situation either. Just keep that in mind. You can do this with 25 steal rating. You just have to put your body in the right spots. So now in the second possession, you can see I'm kind of walling off his left side. I am daring him to go to the right because he's a little bit boxed in as far as not having any space to do so. Now, either way, we don't actually get a bump steal this possession. It's not something you can spam over and over again, obviously, but in this situation, if he's going to hug that sideline like that, I'm going to try and box him in to that right side, because then in this situation, he cannot cook up for a three-pointer at all. All he can do from this spot is either rim run or just literally run right into my bump steal. That's about as simple as that, because I'm cutting off, I would say, about 80% of the top of the key from him. Like, literally, this is all the area he has. Just this little box right here. He has nothing to go all the way to the left right here. And obviously when you're playing 3v3, this is a great situation because you can just fill in with two corners. You have the whole top of the key from wing to wing all the way to yourself. And mind you, this is much easier to do even in Pro-Am, obviously, because you'll have situations like this 24/7 constantly, because there's going to be someone spotting up the wing with a pick and roller right here. You'll have like a help defender maybe right here, and you can just bait him into just putting that ball in his left hand, and you can go for that. Now, this is where I would want to be a little bit tighter to the right and just really up on his body, and a little bit less backwards and behind. You want to be probably like a step forward as far as right here, and then a step to the right. I'm not close enough. As you can see, then I kind of just reset on defense to get back in front of him. Probably should have just actually tried it though, to be honest. It does end up plenty fine though. As you can see, he ends up doing a little spin lay, tries to bail out of it to the corner. I jump to try and block it, and this is definitely some luck-based stuff too right there. Don't expect that works too often to get those tip passes on pressing your Y button for the block. It's pretty rare. But anyway, into the next possession, because like I said, I'm going to be cutting out a lot of the offensive, like useless parts of this game, or the bad defensive possessions that I don't really care to showcase. Not many are getting cut out on defense though. Right here you can see I went for that steal to his left hand. I'm just playing regular defense because I don't have anything set up, but as you can see, as he tries to set up that reset, I'm blitzing his left hand extremely hard. So again, little stop and go right there. I go back to guard the rim run, and then I get back up top again to defend the three-point line. And now as he gets bodied up, you can tell once again, he doesn't want to work this right side. You have him boxed in right here, and the only way he wants to go is to the left. Also, shout out to these guys, because they did mention, like, in the messages to me that they are viewers, so I don't want to talk too much trash on them. Just using him as an example as far as, like, being able to predict the offensive player, because, again, has nowhere to go but to the left. I already cut off his drive. His three-pointer is not there. He can't drive right. I got pinch out the corner and, maybe a back door from the corner, but even at that, like, there's still lanes to be played. And if people aren't going to do that, then, again, all they're stuck with is running back up to the top with their ISO. This is something you can absolutely utilize to just completely stop the bland 3 out ISO dudes who are just like, get out of the way, let me work. This is something you can really utilize to defend them. So again, I am literally just booking it to his left because I see he's going to be put in that situation. As you can see, perfect X timing right there. Wait for the ball to be in that left hand and get your position exactly where it needs to be. And again, you have to be high into the side on them. High into the side. That's pretty much your absolute guide to getting bump steals, because you cannot be like way back here while you're going for your X button already. You can't just expect that you're gonna get a bump steal by pressing X right here. This is like pluck area, and pluck area isn't exactly reliable if you only have 90 steal with silver glove like I do, where you're playing against people that probably have at least gold unpluckable. That's not a likely situation that you're gonna be able to get steals super often, so just keep in mind bumps are how you probably wanna play. So again, definitely blitzing that high and to the left side right there, boom, get the bump steal out in transition, and I get a dunk off it myself. Really good examples on that one right there. I would say that's probably the best example of how to get a bump steal throughout the whole course of this video. But throughout the rest of it, I want to showcase how you can set your teammates up to maybe get some as well, because this is what my boy AK put me onto really early in last year's game, and I started to really understand it a lot myself. You can see a couple situations right here where I'm playing his right and I'm trying to set up Tonic to get a bump steal. You can see I'm on that right side. Now, if Tonic ever blitzed this right here and just wanted to exactly what it is I'm saying, blitz his left, he could absolutely do so, because this is the only place he feels he can go, because as far as where I'm at, he's not going to move back to the right. But as you can see, then this guy gets the ball. Now, because Tonic has him in the corner and has his left side boxed off, or at least like to the left of the ball handler, so like anywhere from here to here is just completely boxed off. Same with like backwards too. Same with the rim run is now bodied off because of the lack of spacing. So I'm able to go for this bump on his right hand. Now, I don't get this because, as you can see, I just get the reach with the wrong hand. If I could have reached with this, my guy's right hand, the one that's actually on the left side though, I know it's a little confusing because my guy's facing the wrong way. But anyway, if I could have got a reach with this arm right here, it would have been great. What I probably could have done a little bit is been like half a step backwards too, because it would have probably accounted for both of these. As you can see, if he comes any closer to me or runs any further backwards, that left hand absolutely would have swatted at him. He also switches his ball hand back to the left, so definitely good maneuvering by him as well. So just keep that in mind. You can't always get them all or anything like that. Right there, you can see he is intimidated by this too. I gotta say, like, he already knows he can't go right. He cannot go right into me because I'm definitely walling that stuff off. So you can't keep going this way because I will bump steal that stuff. So he just has to go to the left, tries to get his shot, and just tries to bail out of it, probably, at least I assume. Same with this guy right here, ends up trying to, likely what I would assume, bail out of it. I really think they're better players than just to accidentally just mistime their jump shot that bad, so I'm not going to assume that's the case. I'm just going to assume they likely tried to bail out of the shot. Now this one right here, you're going to see I play his left hand extremely hard, and I'm trying to set Zeke up for a blitz right here. So he has 95 steal rating, and as you can see, ends up trying to go for that bump. Right here though, he's a little bit far to the right. If he was a little bit tighter and a little bit further back, that's about the example that you want to be at. But nonetheless, when he blitzes off the corner, and this guy thinks it's more ideal to cut than it is to stand still in the corner, and some people will think that is the case 100%, because when Zeke comes out to about right here, you're probably thinking to cut instead of stand right here, because it can give you an opportunity for the defender to play a lane. This is a good cut by him, but what it allows us to do is when Zeke ends up getting cut on, he can now stay right there, and now because I'm just knowing I'm going to set Zeke up with a bump opportunity, can now go ahead and drop to his defender, and I get the chase down right there. So this is a good example of how to work together as a team to give you opportunities at bump steals, but not play so blitz heavy to the point where you're just giving up a wide open three-pointer or a wide open anything for that matter. Right here, I'm walling off his left side once again extremely hard. I want to show you a way that you can maybe defend this better than what we did, because as you can see, once again, like I said, I'm defending that left side extremely hard, trying to send him into Zeke. Now, what Tonic could probably be doing right here, if we were just kind of game planning it better, is Tonic could be sitting between two offensive players right here because of bad spacing on the overload, because that's just where he's stuck. And I'm forcing him into the overload, as you can see. I'm not letting him get to the left of me, and that's the whole reason of because there's two offensive players right here. And it sets Zeke up for blitzes to the right, for the bump steals, even better. Again, you as a 7'3", albeit as well with Tonic, could cover a lot of ground, sit between two offensive players and split the difference rather than being so low right here, because it would allow for a much easier blitz opportunity for Zeke. Also doesn't give the point guard very many places to throw the ball, whereas like right here, you obviously throw it to the wing. And if he's a better player, obviously he's probably just banging this 100% of the time. That's a wide open shot off a catch and shoot too. So really tough situation for him. Right here, you can see once again, Zeke goes for the blitz. I'm playing his right really hard. Zeke just tries to go for the opportunity, gets the steal. It's a little bit of a pluck animation though, just keep that in mind. It's not something that's really as much of a bump, so to say, but nonetheless, it's still in the area that could end up as a bump steal. It's left hand. He's forced to go left because I was playing his right extremely hard. Boom. Zeke just makes a move off the corner and goes for the steal. 95 steal rating, gold glove for him. Goes a lot easier for pluck steals as well. And generally, if you go for the bump steals, even if you don't get the animation that gives you the bump, you could get something like this because of your high steal rating and get the pluck steal animation. And then as you can see, he just jostles it loose and it's off the offensive player. So tough situation for them right there again, man. I mean, it's been a rough game for this guy so far. As you can see, back into defense, I'm playing a little bit more straight up right there. Obviously, we just get beat to the basket. That is one thing you will deal with when it comes to going for bump steals. Right here, the only reason this is in the video is just to show you that I got to reach in on that rather than a reach in going for bump steals or anything, because I don't want you to see the end of the game stats and wonder where all the reach in fouls came from. Anyway, right here, I know this guy's coming up, like going to the right. It's as simple as that. So I'm staying on the left of the offensive player. There's no way he's going to set up and intentionally set up in the overload where he just goes left wing. And even if he does, I'm sending him into Tonic, and I can just take blue on the left wing if this guy just runs straight into Tonic. So it is what it is. I'm just staying on his left extremely hard. Right here, you can see I almost get this one. This is a very, very nice opportunity to go for it. I just don't go for the reach in soon enough and not high enough either. I need to be a little bit more up into the left on him right here. As you can see, the reason I keep telling you where I need to be is because that's the best example I can give for how to get more bump steals. My player needs to be about a foot, like a half a foot to the left and a half a foot up further right here to be able to get a perfect animation on this. Because as you can see, if I was a little bit higher and a little bit more on his side, I am just punching that ball free from the left side. You have to predict pretty much where their ball hand is going to be put. And when you can really do that and just assume that because like he has a lot of people on his right side and his right side's feeling a little bit uncomfortable, he wants to set up maybe in just some moves that are going away from this guy. It's all just kind of a feeling process, and you have to understand how ball handlers function and move on a consistent basis, and maybe learn your opposition as well. As you continue to learn how they dribble on like just a game-to-game basis, like obviously not everybody dribbles the same way. When you can learn how your matchup and your opposition actually dribbles, you can definitely start to predict them a little bit more. But anyway, as you can see, nice little bump steal attempt right there. I do get beat though down to the paint, and as you can see, Tonic tries to drop. He once again misses a wide open jump shot. Not something you see too often. So again, it does vary in the skill level that you play against, but nonetheless, Zeke with a wide open green right there. So now in this possession, you're going to see another one where I don't actually get a bump steal. This is really where I want to show you the failures of it. So right there, once again, basic one spins. Very hard to get steals on. It's going to be something very unlikely. You can see he just hits me with a rim run, and that's expected because, again, I'm playing extremely high, trying to go for that bump. I'm kind of walling off his left. I don't know why either. It'd be much smarter for me to get over to his right here. I feel like just in general, this is a little bit easier to do when you don't have such polar opposites of corner defenders. Like right here, we have a literally 6'1" on one side that is not as much ground coverage, and if he gets cut on, is just kind of a dead basket. Whereas with Tonic, I can kind of lean toward him to expect that he can rotate a lot easier. But nonetheless, like I said, I should have still been on the right if I'm really going for steals right here, because it's very obvious that he was going to try and move over to the right there, in a very sprinting manner too. This may be another thing to maybe keep in mind too, is their positioning on the three-point line. Either he's going to do a hop back right here or move, or just like literally sprint to the right. It's pretty obvious because when you can put him in this situation, you know they're not going to do a dribble move to get the ball to the left hand right in your face. This is very uncomfortable if you're imagining like for them to do a move that with their right stick is moving in this direction, because that's going to feel really bad. So if you want to predict the prediction, you can also just know that they're probably going to go to the right here, or do a hop back to maybe collect and give them more of a two-way go. But anyway, nonetheless, he beats me right, and I'm just like pretty much rim ran at that point. It is what it is. That's what happens when you go for bump steals 24/7. You're not always going to get them. Just wanted to show a cool little offensive possession right here. You can see I go with a little bit of an ISO, and I tell Tonic that I want him to go below the basket. I want to show you guys what I like to do against these people who maybe you struggle with spacing from your inside bigs and stuff like that. That's a cool little set to do if you want to just drive, bait the defender to jump, and then you can throw the lob to his guy. But the reason I actually showed it is because it transitions straight into the next defensive possession. So, as you can see, inbound blitzing. This is a nice thing to always get used to. predict. You want to like split the difference right here once again, because he has a two-way go no matter what. When I say two-way go, I mean he could go left, he could go right, whichever way he wants to go. So if you can predict it, you can set up for bump steals really, really good. Not to mention if you maybe have a more mobile big man on the backside too, if you miss this steal, you could just guard the inbounder after that. It's about as simple as that, really. So I end up on his right side. You can see I go for the steal as soon as, not to mention you can predict walk-up animations, because sometimes, I don't think this was truly a walk-up animation. Most times the walk-up, he's facing the inbounder and then he just completely turns around and flips the ball up in the air half the time. You can predict walk-ups, you can predict whatever the case may be. You can predict them to just literally sprint over to the side. As you can see, nonetheless though, really good positioning for the bump steal, and boom, we're right there. Putting the ball right in his hand and boom, simple as that. Just get the steal, and that's 4 of them in that one game. And not to mention we set up our teammates good for bump steals as well. I felt like it's a really good gameplay to show you guys as far as like how to truly teach you how to play bump steals and how to set up your teammates with them. Nonetheless, bad offensive game. I mean, I was 4 for 8, Zeke was 1 for 4. We went 9 for 18 as a team, but defense can carry you. And in this game, you saw 1 pluck steal the entire time, and it was Zeke that just kicked him out of bounds. Other than that, I literally got like a tip pass on a passing lane and then 3 bump steals other than that, and the point guard had 5 turnovers. So only 1 pluck, and really never utilized the fact that I even have glove. It's just only me putting my hand right where it needs to be to get that bump steal on the point guard. 6'9", albeit, but either way, still, you can get this on a lot of people, no matter what their height is, as long as you play the position right. So anyway, that's all for video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, for to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all that good stuff. And like I said in the intros, try this one to 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the vid, put bump in the comments, so it supports me all the way through, or put steal in the comments, so it supports me all the way through. But nonetheless, I hope you guys appreciate the little tutorial. It's obviously something that I would say a good bit of 2K players know how to do, but not everybody. And I definitely will say it's something that you can distinguish what makes a good player versus an average player. You don't see very many average players go for a lot of bump steals per game or anything like that. I would even make the argument that I don't go for a lot of them. But either way, I would say what separates the average defender from a good defender is that the average defenders just spam pluck steal attempts, and against people that have high unpluckable, you're going to look like an idiot. You have to be able to know when and when not to play for bump steals, when and when not to play for pluck steals. So in this game, I felt like it wasn't really a good time to go for a lot of plucks. I just felt like his dribble style was very easy to go for bumps on, and people that are a little bit reckless with where they just sprint to as far as going one way really hard, you can get them really good. So anyway, that's all for video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And on that, take it easy, man. Peace.